In the distant reaches of the galaxy, on a planet that was once vibrant with life, an alien species called the Sciferans had ruled for centuries. Their cold, calculating minds, combined with their advanced technology, allowed them to conquer and enslave entire civilizations. They saw other species as weak, mere pawns in the grand game of power. The planet of Arkan, once a thriving world full of beauty and life, had fallen under the control of the Sciferans many decades ago. Its inhabitants, the Arkians, were a peaceful species known for their wisdom and deep connection to nature. But under the rule of the Sciferans, Arkan was slowly stripped of its resources, its environment destroyed, and its people forced into submission. The Arkians fought for years, but their resistance was futile. The Sciferans were simply too powerful. In desperation, the last surviving members of the Arkian Council made a final decision. They would send a distress signal into the vastness of space, hoping that anyone, might come to their aid. For years, the signal floated through the cosmos, unanswered. As the Sciferans continued their reign of terror, the Arkians had all but given up hope. The resistance was gone, the cities were ruins, and their world was dying. They had resigned themselves to their fate, certain that their time had come to an end. But then, something unexpected happened. It began with a flash in the sky, bright and sudden, unlike anything the Arkians had ever seen. A massive ship, the likes of which had never been encountered before, appeared in the atmosphere. It was unlike any alien vessel the Sciferans had ever encountered. It was sleek, powerful, and radiated an aura of strength. The Sciferans immediately sent their fleets to investigate, certain that this new arrival would be another weak species to conquer. But they were wrong. As the Sciferan fleets approached the ship, the vessel activated its weapons. In an instant, the Sciferan ships were obliterated, their advanced technology unable to withstand the power of the human-made weapons. The Sciferans were stunned. They had never encountered an enemy like this before. The humans, who had come from a distant planet known as Earth, were nothing like the Arkians or the Sciferans. They were a species of survivors forged by centuries of struggle and conflict. The humans had faced countless wars and challenges on their own homeworld, but they had always found a way to persevere. They were fierce, determined, and unlike any species the Sciferans had ever faced. The leader of the human forces, General Sarah Carter, stood on the bridge of the massive warship. Her eyes scanned the battlefield, watching as her fleet wiped out the remaining Sciferan ships in moments. She knew that the Sciferans would not surrender easily. They were an ancient and ruthless species, but they had never encountered humans before. "Prepare to land," General Carter ordered. "It's time to show them what humanity is capable of." As the humans descended to the surface of Arkan, the Arkians watched in awe. They had heard the stories of the humans, of their legendary resilience and unyielding spirit. They had never expected that these warriors would answer their call, but now, hope flickered in their hearts once more. When the human forces touched down, the Arkians approached cautiously. They had been enslaved for so long that they were unsure whether the humans would befriend them or use them as tools in their own war. But General Carter's message was clear. "We are here to liberate you," she said. "The Sciferans will not rule this planet any longer. We will fight alongside you until you are free." And so, the humans and Arkians joined forces. The Sciferans, caught off guard by the sheer power of the human military, began to retreat. They had underestimated their opponents, and now they were paying the price. As the humans led the charge, the Arkians were emboldened. For the first time in decades, they picked up their weapons and fought back. Their once dying world seemed to come alive again, the energy of resistance filling the air. The Sciferans, overwhelmed and outmatched, had no choice but to retreat. The humans had given the Arkians the strength to rise up, and in return, the Arkians shared their knowledge of the land, their resources, and their wisdom. Together, they fought back the Sciferans, pushing them off their planet and into the void of space. The battle was hard fought, but victory was sweet. The Arkians were free once more, and their world began to heal. The Sciferans, though still a threat in the galaxy, had learned a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the power of humanity. As General Carter looked out over the restored landscape of Arkan, she couldn't help but feel a deep sense of pride. The humans had come to this planet not for conquest, but for justice. They had fought not for glory, but for the freedom of those who could not defend themselves. And as the humans and Archeans celebrated their hard-won victory, they knew one thing for certain. Together, they could overcome any obstacle. The Xipherons had fallen, but humanity's legacy had just begun.